some today after kicking us out of occupying the space at City Hall, which we had done for 3 days before this happened. At 6 a.m. they wanted us to clean everything, move everything. They sprayed down all of our chalk. They made us take down all of our signs that we made, that children made, that families made, and it was under some interesting clause called 5611. Which we looked up, which we Googled and showed them that it didn't make sense. And then, I don't know, it's just been like this until, I don't know, until we fired Chief Beck.
Particularly based on racism. I think they're based on race.
Yes, I definitely think that they are based off of race.
Yes, I do think that are all race-based.
I think they are based on racism.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's indisputable.
I would say that race definitely plays a factor. I don't think it's necessarily the only factor, but I did think it played a part in some of the shootings that have occurred.
Yes, I do think they're based on racism.
I do think the recent officer-involved shootings are based in racism.
I don't think every officer that has been involved in these shootings is like, I don't know, racist and they're out here trying to kill black people per se.
Racism comes from this idea of oppression and kind of a lack of respect for other races. And when someone does not respect someone else, they see them as different from themselves.
If it were a white man telling the officer that he had a gun, it would have been handled differently. Because the way he handled it was completely unprofessional. And like the driver told him he had a gun. The driver was told to get his license and registration, and that's exactly what he was doing. But he still got killed. So how are we supposed to? It's like it doesn't make sense. Honestly, it doesn't make sense why that happened.
A lot of naysayers are using statistics to try and prove otherwise. However, according to statistics and percentages of African Americans in the community, they are 2.5 times more likely to be shot and killed by police officers unjustly.
Based on patterns we've seen in this country, not just since these shootings have been caught on camera, but far before that, there's been disparities in criminal justice sentencing. There's been disparities in the way that police communities, how often people are pulled over, why they're pulled over, the reasons they're pulled over. There are disparities based on race.
I think structurally our police system and political system, our country, our world is based in racist philosophies and colorism, valuing people of one color over the other. In Japan, they have people who are supposed to be lighter are considered more beautiful. In Brazil, you have more than half of the country being of Afro descent, and they aren't represented in the media, in parades. It's an issue.
I think if the victims were white, they would not have been shot or treated that way.
A lot of their biases are fogging their decisions, and it's gotten to the point where it's no longer invisible, it's no longer deniable by anybody in this country, and I think people need to face it and see it head on because it's clear. And yes, officers are killing other people of other races, but it is far, far more clear that they are purposely targeting Black Americans and Brown Americans.
The disparity between the different races, the lack of understanding between officers and the people that they're supposed to be policing is leading them to make these decisions, these rash decisions that they wouldn't make for other people, but because they have a misunderstanding of who we are, they lead to situations like those.
So I think that when a white officer comes up to a black man, they see them as, you are not who I am, and then it to me, I see it as they kind of devalue them, and then therefore it's easier for them to jump to a conclusion like I can do this or I can do that, and I won't get in trouble for it.
It's an issue, and it's there in our faces, and we shouldn't ignore it anymore, because if we work together to fix it, we will be a better nation full of equality and unity and love. Simple as that.